Good morning, you beautiful people. So I just quickly want to show you an update on the peach trees. Start the morning off with an update on the peach trees. The radishes are growing wildly. Just absolutely love it. It's a fantastic winter ground cover and ground breaker and everything you can imagine you want in a winter crop, except for tasting good. They taste horrible. I yanked one out of the ground and I said to my wife, let's taste it. I washed it there in Damien's forest, took a bite, and she said, what did this taste like? And I said, no, it's wonderful. Taste. And she's like, nah. And I was chewing and pretending it's nice. Eventually I had to spit it out and she was laughing like crazy. Apparently she knew it tasted horrible. And then right next to the peach trees, we've got pumpkins. We filled up these holes with compost, and then we've got pumpkins. That's the first one now, showing his true color. So this greenhouse will start emerging over the next couple of days. We've been waiting for a ministry grant to help us stretch the donation from Lisa, and it's just simply every week they say next week, and it might never come, or it feels like it might never come at this point. I started a while ago buying poles and things like that just because I started getting frustrated with the process. But I think it's finally time to just say, listen, this is not going to work. Let's just do it, because we're losing valuable time and valuable resources. I see some of the onions are basically ready for the picking. Beetroots are ready for the picking. Summer crops have to go in. Winter crops are coming out. I'm very happy with our mulching thing going on at the moment. We've had very little termites in the garden, and we've been adding basically things that comes out of Brenda's camp and comes out of the horses camp. So it's not manured upon or anything, it's just been lying on the ground. And since we are in overdrive or overproduction, I would say, with mulch in the veld, we've got more than we've ever could imagine. Grass standing tall. It's been a wonderful rain season. People have got too much grass. In the last year, I don't know if you've seen the videos, but we were sometimes in physical confrontation about grazing, because there was just not enough for everybody. And now there's so much. Cornell told me, please come and cut everything on my land that you can. Other people told me, please come and collect everything that you can. So we've got a way bigger supply of grass than we can handle, and we can physically move in with the time and resources that we have. So mulching, that is happening at a grand scale. Come here, please. Okay, so yesterday, very important comment from Mikon. You see, if you check here below, we have compost as a ground top dressing, as Mikon calls it. And so yesterday we planted, or not Mikon, people call it top dressing when you put things on top. We planted our compost heap with pumpkins. That means it's out of the running for 30 days. So Mikon yesterday asked, what are we gonna use to put it on top of the gardens now, while we can't use this one for 3 months still? Okay. What is the plan? What are we gonna put in your garden? Where are we going to get compost?
I think we must go get the compost at Lugistain.
Damien's forest. Yeah. You wanna steal your father's compost? Yeah. What about these ones here by the pigs?
Yeah, these ones there is, but it's like kind of finished like this side, because the other side is the new one that I'm putting.
Oh, is the compost getting finished?
Yeah, at the beginning here is finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
But look, if we can water it for a week and the worms can just move into the new compost, yeah, then we can finish that once. Okay. Old ones. Then we just split the worms and we.
Yeah, I think we must use this one for the pigs here.
Okay.
Put on the.
Yeah, I think water them for another week. Let's go there quickly. Let's see quickly what that compost heap is doing. Okay, so as I'm walking, I'm just quickly want to show you, these are some of the beds that we're going to be digging out now. Sunken beds. We're going to try 2 sunken beds. Since our radishes did so much better in the sunken areas, in fact that's basically the only place they survived. I'm not 100% sure why. In that chicken garden, I believe that it might be the right thing to do in Migo's garden as well. I have some sunken beds. and have some experiments on to see how much better the sunken beds do. We might have a problem during the raining season with flooding and drought, plants dying off. The one thing that you have to remember about a desert area like this is that when we get rain, we get rain like that. Okay, so this is the original worm pile. It's been walked down and scratched down by the birds. It looks very dry.
Yeah.
So where do we have compost that's ready?
Yeah, I think starting from here.
Okay, open. I see there's a shovel or a thing there.
Yeah.
Tool there, grab there for me. Let's open here quickly and let's have a look. Where's the shovel coming from?
I really don't know. It's like new to me also. I don't know it's for who.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, this is old. All of this can go there immediately.
Okay.
We can put it in the garden
Okay.
immediately.
Yeah.
Then we need to wet all of this. Make sure it's nice and wet. You see, it doesn't compost if it's this dry.
It does not get water.
If it gets water,
It's very dry.
I just wait it. I don't actually want to put new compost here because I want to move the compost heaps closer to Damien's forest.
Okay.
Not Damien's forest, Miko's garden. I think just wet this.
Okay.
Use all of this. You can carry as many wheelbarrows as you can from here.
Yeah.
Put it on top of the garden beds.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wet the areas that's not completely done yet, so the worms have a place. But even if we take worms, we don't need to separate them.
Yeah.
Put them in the gardens.
We'll put them in the garden.
All you're watching for is those big white caterpillars.
Oh, yeah.
Those ones you need to remove.
Okay.
Emmanuel's food.
Okay, yeah.
Take those out for Emmanuel. Okay, let's have a look. Open here for me quickly. Let's see what this does. Yeah, everywhere. Yeah, somewhere there. Okay, well, let's have a look. Okay, so yeah, see, this is the enemy. Those ones you must give to Emmanuel to eat.
Yeah.
It's very good for your compost, very good for nature,
Mm.
but not so good for the garden.
Yeah.
Okay, they eat the roots. Okay, yeah, see, all of this can go to Mikon's garden.
Yes.
This whole heap, you can move everything. All of this you can move in. If you can see it's manure, you leave it like this.
Yeah, like this
But
one.
this thing hasn't been watered maybe in 2 weeks, it seems, eh?
Yeah. Last time I tried to put a sprayer here, I watered.
Good morning, children. Have a look at onion ring quickly. So yesterday, Mika's money got stolen from her little purse inside of the house. Now, it can be so many people. It wasn't necessarily stolen yesterday. It could have happened over a month, or over a process of 2 weeks. Good morning, onion ring.
She's fat. She's a fat lady.
So the nice thing about onion ring is she's not the grunt of the litter. She's actually quite, weight-wise, she's doing very well. And the mama pig is happy. Baby pigs are happy. They are getting more tamed and more used to human touch as we continue. Mama pig really loves scratches. And so the taking of money from the house could be so many people. We have all our workers can go in and out of the house. We don't lock the house when we go away because sometimes there's a knife or a tool or something that they need in the house and they need to get it, or they need to switch off the geyser, water system. That is a thing. We have so many children. So many children that comes and visits us daily from various backgrounds, and obviously they have full access to our house. It's obviously not nice to
Bye.
consider anybody thinking that they would take money, but it would change. It's going to change if it continues. I'm going to have to talk to the boys and talk to the children that comes here. We're going to have to change the way we do things in and around the farm if things starts getting missing by our own people, because that's basically what happens. Somebody that we know and trust has taken money from. Okay, so then when the ideal is to take those biochar, which is just fine charcoal, like the ones you see here, add it either with compost or with worms, and then you charge it. In other words, you give it a place to subtract the nutrients from. It takes those nutrients from the compost, you apply to your garden. If you have 3% biochar in your ground, you can reduce your watering with 30%. You can get 30% less water. Matthew has got a soil meter that measures the moisture in the soil every time before he gives water, and we can clearly see the difference where there's biochar, where there's no, how often we need to water the things. So you can be very specific on making biochar. There's lots of videos. The next thing that you guys can Google when you go away, whoever's making notes, biochar, or you can just take your charcoal from your fire, make it fine, put it in your compost, and then add it to your plants. That's probably the easiest way. But if you want to be very scientific about it, you can go very scientific about it, and you can make it even better. Yeah. So let me show you some.
As long as they use charcoal in it.
Charcoal.
And
Charcoal.
then you can add it to compost or anything.
Yeah, we want to put a greenhouse in these holes, so that's happening soon.
And then
Net. Yeah, I say greenhouse, actually a net house. Shade net.
charcoal can be of anything.
Of anything. Not plastic. It's biochar, so anything that was once living. Bones, trees, leaves, things. Anything that once. So bio means living. Char means, things that's gone through fire, that hasn't burned out completely. So biochar, living things that come through fire. But as I said, this is a very basic explanation. It is worth Googling it afterwards and doing a study on biochar. I believe it's something that will change Namibia. Okay. So in here you will find worms. The worm fell. Okay, let me grab another handful. I'm messing with these plants now for yesterday. I see it's not wet very deeply. Okay, so a worm. Okay, the worms I'll show you now, but I want to show you something interesting. There and there, I don't know if you can see it. That is worm eggs. Earthworm eggs. Okay, so how an earthworm works is they are both sexes, but each worm is both male and female. They come together, they mate, they go apart, and each one goes and make an egg. And in each egg there's between 3 and 8 worms. In here there's also charcoal that we there's some worms there. There's some charcoal, and that now gets charged by the nutrients from all the manure and everything. You'll also see a lot of soil in there. The soil comes from the termites. It comes and takes manure, and that then they leave soil. So you have to decide whether you want that or not. We decided it's too much effort to try and keep the termites out. We just farm with them. Okay. So we believe that they will take that nutrients and go feed the trees somewhere, or the termites has got a purpose in the land. They will add value. Okay. But then yesterday, there's a YouTuber called David the Good. He said he was planting pumpkins and they did okay, but he realized that somebody threw a pumpkin on the compost heap, and so the pumpkins being planted on the compost heap exploded. They grew like crazy. So yesterday I decided to do the same. We planted lots of pumpkins. First we added grass, and then we opened just like here and there and there. We added pumpkins, and so this will then become a pumpkin patch. 3 months from now, when the pumpkins are gone, we'll take the compost away and use it in the garden. We'll start with the next. We've started with the next compost heap here, so this one isn't finished yet. We just started with the. You'll still see. You can still distinguish the manure and the grass. It doesn't look brown or black or anything. It's very much in the beginning still. We added some worms somewhere here, I think. And so they will start spreading into the heap now.
Where did he?
I think they migrated already. Can you see them? Yeah. There you go. So yeah, we don't turn it. We don't do anything. We just leave it, and the worms do the Yeah, if you do the mulch, it's better.
You know how to make vermicompost.
This is vermicompost. I'll show you two different systems that we have as well. That's a little bit different from this. And if you want some worms to take home, you're welcome. Okay, if you want us to go start it. Okay. Just quickly want to figure this thing out. You can't say name. It's the name of the person that produced the cultivar. So all of these trees are called the Devet cultivar. Okay, so right next to the net house, we're going to build a windbreak. This one is made from peaches, so we just planted a row of peaches over here. We planted peaches because we get cold, we're struggling with mangoes and other things. So we decided on peaches, but you have to decide in your situation what is best, what you can sell, what you can plant like that. Because we watered the peaches in any case, we decided to plant the radishes, because the peaches is going to get water, so you might as well have a radish, another crop out of it, because the peach will get this water down there, the radish gets its water up here. So while the water is going down, this also helps for evaporation, and then it gives us another crop that we can either use for the pigs or we can use for something else. Kids, maybe take the radishes, let's see if the pigs want to eat them. Right next to the peaches, we decided we made some holes, and that water will also go to the peach roots. Made some holes, filled it with compost, and we planted pumpkins in there. So this will then give us a ground cover over here of the peaches. So it's another, hey, Bushman. This is another crop that we will have. From watering the peach tree, we will now receive pumpkins first. The peach tree might only take 2 or 3 years before it starts giving us food or a harvest or something that we can sell. But the pumpkins and the radishes we can already sell this year.
I have a question.
Yes.
Won't they fight for nutrients?
Yes, they will. Just give more. Just give more. They will definitely fight for nutrients. So traditionally we are taught that you remove all competition. That's traditional agriculture. In the organic system and in the systems that we use, we believe that these plants actually help one another. So this might get. I don't know if any of you ever tasted the radish leaf before. Any of you want to taste something terrible? Taste it. It's terrible. The insects also don't like it. It will keep insects away. It will bring pollinators, and then the roots. The roots of trees, if you plant them close to one another, they actually share nutrients, and there's lots of benefits of planting trees close to one another. That's why a forest thrives. If you remove a forest, all the trees from a forest, and you leave 1 or 2, those trees will probably die as well. So there's.
I have a question as well.
Yes.
Then, if they are competing for the nutrients, then how often do you apply compost?
Well, we don't have a system yet, but I think don't be shy. As soon as it's composted completely, give as much as you can. Don't be shy. Once you get to a really big scale where you reach your end and you cannot apply any more compost, then you say, okay, you know what, it's, I can't give any more. But at one stage, this tree's roots will be so far down that it will definitely not compete with any of this anymore. Okay, so only for now, only in the beginning, they will start competing with one another. So we build these things called food forests. A food forest has got trees and plants in different layers. Your top story, which is like palms and things like that. Below that you've got maybe guavas. Below that maybe grapes. Then you've got something going around the tree up. Then you've got your herbaceous layer, which is this. And then you've got your root crop, which is beetroots and onions and things like that. Carrots, radishes. All of those are beetroots. So there's 7 layers. And then you can add animals into that as well. And so we want to emulate a forest. We want to fill up all of those layers with plants. Because then you can do a lot more The next thing you guys can Google, for whoever is making those, is Google how to create a food forest. It's a food forest. It's very worth the while on how to create a food forest. It's very, very much worth a study. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna talk while you guys walk over so you know what I'm talking about, ne? Over here you'll see there's a wall that's made across the land. It's made from that side all the way over here. This is called a swale. It's basically a wall or a dune that we made on contour. So we took a level, we did it with a dumpy level, but you can do various different ways. Took it across the land, and that then passively harvest the rainwater. So the rainwater will come here, hit this berm, and then in the future we'll be planting trees on this side. And those trees maybe you'll water the first year or the second year. After that you'll never have to water them again. Because every year this thing fills up 5 or 10 times. The water goes into the soil there and you'll never have to water your trees again. It's a bit expensive to put in initially because you have to dig it by hand. Most of this thing was digged by hand. Or with a machine, put it across your land. It also lifts your water table up so your borers never run dry. A swale. Yeah, you guys that will be Googling how to create a food forest will definitely run into this quite often. Okay.
And this is what the old cornfield.
Yeah, so here we did an experiment with the guys talking about competing of things. Lucas, which is hiding somewhere there, he took a piece of land, he planted some corn, cleaned it in the traditional way, took all the grass away, took all the weeds out, took everything out. I on the other side left the weeds, I flattened them, I put mulch, and the difference was there was no harvest almost. The corn was like that, just on the other side, same water, same planting time, same everything. That side we had, all of us ate nicely. There is a lot of value in protecting the soil from the sun. Loads and loads of value from protecting the soil. The other thing that we also did on that side is we planted pumpkins. So we not only harvested corn, we harvested beans and pumpkins as well that grew up between the corn. So you can integrate your crops. The traditional way is plant corn, kill everything, and the reason for that is because it's big scale, you need a machine to come in and be able to harvest these things. When you have pumpkins and beans between it, you cannot come in there with a tractor and harvest it. But when you do it small scale and you're going to do most of your work by hand, don't be shy to integrate your crops. Is there anybody that's making a list of the things that I'm saying to Google? Okay, so there's another thing that you can do for corn plantations, the Three Sisters. It's a way that the Native Americans used to farm. They plant corn, then they plant beans to grow up against the corn, and then they plant squash and pumpkins below. So in one area they get 3 different crops. Very valuable. Three Sisters it's called. Daarna ek het 'n Matrix 5 blaar, ja. Okay, so over here is another swale. This one is only a year old. We'll leave it for a couple of years so it fills up every year a couple of times. Water goes in. Eventually on this side we'll be planting a lot of trees on the downward side. So the water will come in, go down, go down, and a year or a couple of years from now, this place will be very wet and moist. Whenever you plant a tree, it will find the water that we've been storing in there for the last couple of years, and we don't have to water those things anymore.
You give them apparently to the pig.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that.
Give them what? Just give them like
Just give them like that. So these pigs have never eaten them, but I'll show you, even if we give them, they will eat them like candy. These pigs have never eaten them because I want to grow my plants. I don't want to kill them yet. But I've given them to previous pigs and they really like them. So I'll show you now. I'll show you now. And they grow from nothing. You don't have to do anything with them. Those things, they grow like a weed. You can also chuck those ones in. They've also never eaten this, so we'll see. Kom eens, Donna. Geef me die mes. Okay, so as I said, these ones have never eaten this, so we'll see now if they will. And humans can eat this as well. In South America, they cook these things and they eat them. And they're actually very good. The other thing that pigs eat, I feel that no farm should not have pigs. Pigs also eat manure from other animals. It's not legal in Namibia to feed pigs horse manure, for instance, and then sell it to people. But all over the world it is. So your pig can grow, can get up to 50% of his food from manure from cattle or horses or whatever. You can grow it yourself and eat it like that. We've done it and it tastes great. There's no problem in the taste, nothing like that. Just don't sell it if you do that.
ABP.
And then as you can see, those lucinas that I told you, all over the farm we've planted them. They will grow up and each one of these will feed 10 sheep for one day, eventually. Kyk, die grootste naam is mos Mila. So over here, that's just a mama pig and some babies. They grow. So a sheep will maybe give you one baby a year, 2 babies if you're lucky. Goats and cattle as well. A cow most likely only 1 a year. A pigs can give you up to 20 babies a year. I believe every single farm in the country needs to have pigs. It's just money that makes it sell.
Where's the neighbor?
Next door. Yeah, next door. So we have a deal with the farmer next door. He gives us 4 baby pigs, like those 4. We raise them, and then he gets the biggest one back, and the other 3 we get to sell. Okay, but pigs are money-making machines. You really need some pigs on your land. You can keep them in a small place. It's really valuable. Okay, so when we removed the pigs from this one, it was raining and the land was wet, and so I just threw some sunflower seeds. Everything came up, and that will now just be some biomass that we added to the land. It's just another circle of life coming. The pigs will eat it, sure. I don't think they will gain a lot of weight from it, but it brings birds, the birds' manure. It's just more roots in the ground to survive. Okay. Any questions? More questions? Pas op, julle. Okay, so in our rivers that we have, we've built certain structures that just keeps the water back a little bit. So the water only lifts about 2 years and then it goes past. But it makes the water stand in here for many days. And it fills the groundwater. So one day when we do have a borehole, all of this water that we're putting into the land now with the swales and with the river fills up, so you cannot cross it for maybe a week at a time. Every time it comes down and the water just stands down. And it goes into the land. And so one day when we put a borehole, we can be sure that we'll find water and that the water will never dry up. Because every year we're changing it. Simple structures. These stones I got for free from town. I paid $300 so they come and deliver them. They're just lying here in the river. Very simple structure. And it puts into the ground millions of liters of water.
Peor one.
Not funny.
Okay, so yeah, we just sit around and sometimes we have a meeting with some things. This charcoal is perfect for what we do on that side. You can feed this to the pigs, you can feed this to the horses, you can eat this when you have a stomach problem. Pigs eat everything. A pig is a wonderful, wonderful animal to have. They will eat everything to have. Not to get rid of your husband, don't get me wrong, but what I'm trying to say is they will eat everything that you can imagine a pig will eat. So a pig is a wonderful animal to have. Charcoal is good for animals' digestion, so feed it in small amounts, make it fine, put it into all your animals' things, and then when it comes out on the other side, it's already charged. It will not disintegrate, it will not disappear, and you can use that into your garden. It's already got all the nutrients in there.
Yes, right.
Okay, so this is Lucky's garden. He's looking after this. Over here we try to incorporate, that's more a traditional way of gardening, those straight lines and things like that. Maybe we walk a little bit forward. Okay, so as you've seen on that side, that's more the traditional way of gardening. This is more the feeling that we want to go for. We want to leave the natural trees to give us an overstory, give us some shade. Those sunflowers that you saw there in the back, they grew through the frost where everything else died because they were below those big trees. They didn't get the frost. Even though they are lower and closer to the river, they didn't get the frost, so they didn't die. So we use the acacias as an overstory, and then below that we now plant different layers. So we have a mulberry, which will become quite a high tree. We've got papayas here that will become a medium-sized tree. We've got mint that you can harvest and sell for tea over here. And so that's now three layers that we already have, 3 different layers. And then you've got the root crops as well. There's some roots there, some onions there. Over here some radishes. And then the prickly pears everywhere as well. There's some sunflowers. So you fill up the layers of your forest. You learn which ones will take too much nutrients. Plant the things that will accommodate one another. If you plant a grape or a passion fruit next to a tree like this, you don't have to worry about stakes. You don't have to worry about any of those things. They will grow around the tree, and you don't have to pay for any of that. You don't have to support it. When you water your tree, if this was for instance now a fruit tree, that would be even better. If you water your passion fruit, all the water that passes the roots of the passion fruit will go and water the tree. Okay. We also do have ducks that we let out sometimes. We just have small plants now that we don't want them to eat, but they then come eat the termites and they come and manure in the garden and things like that. So we integrate animals into the garden.
Ik denk dat van baba eerder krijgen die in Nederland voor groot kids.
Well,
Ja.
okay. Okay, so worm system. Somebody asked me about vermicompost. Who was that? Okay, leave them. It's okay. So this is one of the worm systems that we have here. We take waste from the garden. You add it to the top here, and you grow worms. You can see there. Now, yeah, you can see the eggs there. Lookie, hierdie tuin van jou, hierdie wurms van jou kry nie genoeg kos nie, hoor. Jy moet vir hulle elke dag so 'n emmertjie kos gee asseblief. Okay, then what we do is in the day we put in water on top there. And we harvest it below here. We get some worm tea. This is now filled with growth hormone, This is now filled with growth hormone and lots of nutrients. If you feed this to your garden, it takes the nutrients deep into the ground, and you can just apply that to your garden in your area. Now, the other thing that happens here is once you feed and it becomes full, these worms will realize there's more food on top. They will move up, and you can come in here with a shovel and remove the compost and apply that to your garden. Now, you can see here how many worms there are in here. And I don't want to squeeze them, but when you want to check if your compost is finished, you squeeze it, and when it feels like clay, then you know it's finished. It's ready to harvest. So, Ims, you must harvest there and add more food on top, please. Okay. Yeah, we do have things we called fertility pits in the food forest. Ideally, you want a place where you can add swales and things like that. We can't do that, but we have water that's running off here, falls into that hole. There's lots of compost and charcoal and things like that in that hole. That will now feed the roots of this tree, that tree, that tree. There's a tree there. So all of them will benefit from the water that's gathering there naturally every year when it rains, and it will benefit from the nutrients that's there.
Do you also feed some of these crops to your horses?
Yes. Yeah, so the sunflowers, we've fed plenty of sunflowers to the horses, to the workers, to ourselves. Yes, we do. And to the pigs, obviously, lots of sunflowers, and even the stalks from the sunflowers. These are all volunteer sunflowers. They came up from the seeds that fell down last year. We didn't plant them. So, yes, the wooden piece of the sunflower, the pigs love them as well. They will eat basically everything. Okay. Waar is Lucky? Lucky! Kom, wys my wurms. Okay, so that worm drum system that we have there is a nice one to have at home, or a small garden, because you can very easily put it outside of your door and feed it the coffee grounds and the things that's coming out of your kitchen. You can feed to that. But this is probably, for a grand scale, this is probably the best. We put the plastic down there to stop the termites. It's not working great to stop the termites. We added the worms, the manure on top, horse manure on top, and we introduced the worms. We just give them water and they do their job. Now, we sell the worms for $1 a worm. And for a long time, every month we've been selling about 4,000 worms. So from a small piece like this, you can make a profit of about $4,000 a month, which was enough to pay for this farm. So the worms bought the farm for me. They paid the bank every month. Wys gou vir my wurms. Waar is jou wurms? So they are not as dense as on other sides. You can see them here. There's not as many as in the drum. In the drum they breed very fast. But they are here, they're not taking any work. No labor, and they give you food. Yeah, you can see there's plenty. And you can now just imagine, each one of these worms are worth $1. So there's maybe $200 here.
Then who do you usually sell them to?
So we market on Facebook, the Food Forest Namibia. We spend money on an ad, about $20 a day, so $600 a month we spend on advertising. And then Lucky comes, sits here, he takes 1, 2 like that for 400, which we put them in a drum, and we courier them all over the country to people that wants to make compost. And so last year we sold 40,000 and then 40,000 again. So in that month we sold 80,000 worms. We brought students like you guys in to come and help us count. We sat them around, there's a big worm farm on that side. Each one had to count 5,000. Any size. They don't grow bigger than this, so they're not like the ones that you are used to. This is the size of these worms. And we sell them any size. That you pay for the worm, not for the weight or the what. They grow up very fast, any case, and they double about every month. If they have the right conditions, they will double every month. So this is the other thing that I think every farm should have. Every farm with an animal. If you have a cow, if you have a sheep, you should have a plastic top like this, and you make compost, and you can make some money. Say again? No, they eat the manure. They eat the manure. They love the manure, and then that becomes compost, and then the compost goes to the gardens. So as I explained to you right in the beginning, we want one system. So the horses, if you ever have a chance to buy a horse, don't buy a horse. They just cost you money. It's true. But the horses produce manure. So now this is our harvest from the horses. We have harvest, the children have fun and the wife have fun, and we have people coming to ride them and they pay us and things like that. That is also a harvest. But the first harvest, I told you, is manure from any animal. So we take our first harvest, we add value to it. Manure in itself, you can fill up a bag, a 50 kilogram bag, you can sell that maybe for $100. These things, we fill up 20 liters of this, like a paint bucket, filled with this. Or not with this, with the ones coming out of the drum. We sell that for $300. The compost. So you add value to it. But you can also put chickens on here if you want. The chickens can eat these things. You don't have to buy chicken food. When you harvest eggs, when you harvest chicken meat. So you want the systems to complement one another. It's a circle. And from that circle, you harvest from this part, you harvest from that part, you harvest from that part. But you keep the circle going, and certain parts have got input and certain parts you just take out. Okay. So in here, those big grubs also grow. So some of my guys, they take buckets and buckets full of those grubs, white grubs. They go eat them at home. No. So up in the garden we have those drippers. Yeah, and in some parts we use a sprinkler. Sometimes when we clean the pool we use flood irrigation, but otherwise we use sprinklers here as well. Okay. Is everybody tired? Do they want to go home? It looks like it, eh? Is it? Okay. I don't want to. I don't mind if they don't want to listen. I really don't mind. Don't force them to be here. Don't force them to be here if they don't want to be here. Yeah. So this is dry, but here we just place the wall across the ditch, and so every year the water comes, goes down, goes down, and that there's some baobab trees there. There's some trees there. Eventually the water will go to the sides. So getting water to go into the ground is very important.
Papa.
Yes.
Dis jy nou na Brenda gaan kyk?
Brenda die koei. Ek dink nie hierdie mense gaan lank genoeg hier wees nie.
En dan sê ons kyk of hulle kyk vir hulle gejag. Sy wat is daar. En dan sien hulle. Sa papa is so.
Okay, so over here, there's a lot of water running next to the railway that we thought this is a resource that's going to waste. So we built a little wall. It's only as high as that, coming from the road, going around. So we made it on contour, on a level. It comes, fills up those things, and then it throws the water out here. Now from here, there's little holes that there was peas growing. Cow peas and things like that. And then after, okay, first of all, those things are called elephant grass. They grow, you can see how high they used to grow. You can harvest them every year, feed them to your animals. It produces a lot of food. It's a very valuable crop, and it stops erosion, and it's a very valuable crop for things. Like I said, the water then runs down here. From here, we've got these half moons. I don't know if you can see, there's a ditch here that's dig like a half moon. Maybe I can see one that's a little bit clearer. Here you can see one. This one you can see. There's a half moon, a little wall here. In there, some compost. There's some elephant grass growing that we can harvest for the animals. And then so the water comes, falls in there, into the compost, into the manure. It's quite deep, this much. and then the water goes into the swale. That is it. Nee, moenie nou vir papa plan speel. That water then feeds these trees around it. So the first couple of months we had to give them water. From now on, we'll never have to water these trees again. Next year when it rains, this bank will fill up again. Never have to buy water or pump water or do anything. These things will passively irrigate themselves. Once they grow up now, then we can start planting things below them, maybe something that will grow up out them, maybe some other smaller fruit trees that's protected by them from the frost, etc.
Usually put like a pipe.
No, the roots will find it. The miracle of a tree is the roots go much further than you can expect, and they know where the water is as well. They've got ways of communicating that you don't even that nobody understands it, but they will find water. That tree will find this water. That tree will find this water. There's no need for it to do. And the water will. This water, because it fills up 5 or 6 times every year. Every time it rains, it fills up. It makes this whole place wet. And then it goes into the ground as soon. I'm sure if you start digging here, you'll find water from last rain season as well. You'll find the moisture. Pipe. Okay, so let me explain to you the pipe. So this, when we started, there was not one piece of grass here. This was just bare land. It was looking like that, né? And we had a drought, so I didn't want this to. I'm on a budget. I didn't want to waste any money on water. I don't want to waste any money on anything. So we added these pipes to below the roots. And so every time you water it, you don't water it here where the sun will take the water away. You water it there straight to the root. The water is protected from the sun. It's just the guys are getting lazy now. You see, they start watering on top here.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, just water straight to the root. Okay, away from evaporation, away from all of that. Yeah. Okay, guys, I think that is the end of our story. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, my friends, that is going to be the end of my story. Wanted to thank you very much, Andre B and Joachim Costa, for your support. Really do appreciate it, for buying the coffees and doing the things. Super thanks, etc. Really do appreciate that. Okay, so lessons from today. It was very interesting that some people just turned off the path. Some people were so interested and so focused on what I was saying. I had very great questions. Yeah, that was super cool to meet these people and to show them around. The people that did turn off, they saw other things on the farm that triggered their interest, and they went off with the guys and they showed them those things. So it's not like when they were not interested in farming, it was just I think the group might have been a bit too big. There was 20 students viewing the thing, so that might have had an effect. But it was very nice. It was basically my first real permaculture tour on a farm. The first while I was spending time in the grey water system and the chicken garden, I realized I spent too much time there, and to start rushing through things to get them to be going out on time. Would have been wonderful if I could take the day and sit down with them and show them this is a swale, this, just deeper diving to basic principles. But I think it's a good start. Anyway, that's the end of my story. Hope you have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.